This reaction has some intense final moments. It might be shocking for longtime viewers.
What is going on, guys? I'm Director Nat, back for another Amphibia reaction. And we have finally reached that point. Today we are checking out the Amphibia Season 2 finale. This journey has just been absolutely crazy. I think I started watching Amphibia in April, around the time that the second half of Season 2 was coming out. And I've just come to love this show so much. Like, I always thought it was good, and I was very impressed by its style and its sense of humor, but I thought that it was just a good show. I didn't think that it was great at first. It hadn't, really hooked me, but as I kept watching, my appreciation for it grew, and once we got to the end of Season 1 and started Season 2 took it to another level, and then as it went on, it just really blew me away and hooked me so much, and I've just loved it, and it's done nothing but win me over episode after episode. And now we've finally gotten to this point. I actually just got done recording my reaction to episode 19, so the stage has been set for this finale. Now, before we get into this, I do need to tell you guys something that I have mentioned here and there in my other reactions, but I'm gonna say it again for anybody who doesn't know. I'm not going into this episode 100% spoiler free, because the truth is that I follow a lot of people, a lot of fan artists and such who are fans of the Owl House and other cartoons that I like, but that also means that they're fans of Amphibia, and it was just really hard to avoid all spoilers for the season finale at the time that it was coming out. So I do know, or at least have an idea of certain big moments that are going to happen, and I know some general things. I'd been debating whether it would be best to maybe just pretend that I didn't know those things and then act even more surprised when the shocking moments happen, but I just felt that would kind of be dishonest and it would make my reactions not very genuine. So that is something I just wanted to let you guys know about in advance. Now, with that said, it's not all bad. There are still plenty of things I don't know about this episode. I have no idea how it ends. Even with the shocking moments that I may know, I don't know what the aftermath is going to be, and I don't know if they're going to be permanent. And I'm not totally sure about the characters that are involved. I can only speculate on that. I've been getting a better idea the more I've been watching the show, but even if, let's say that I just do completely know those moments, I don't know for sure, but even if I do, it's still not the same as actually seeing it for yourself. Like, hearing about something or just seeing a photo of something is not the same as actually experiencing it for yourself and understanding the context and then seeing what happens after that. And at the very least, having a few spoilers for this episode has made me even more excited to get to this episode and to view things that have happened up until this point in a different light. So yeah, it's not all bad. In fact, there have been some benefits to it. I'm still really excited for this episode. There's still plenty of things that I don't know for sure, and there's still gonna be a third season after this, and since I plan to watch and react to the show as it comes out in season 3, I will be able to avoid spoilers this time around. So it's been a learning experience, and there are some good things to it, but I just wanted to let you guys know that for when we get to those moments. But if those moments are what I've been led to believe they are based on what I do know, thankfully no one else is here today, and I don't think my neighbors are out doing anything, so if I need to scream or cry or cheer or do anything, I can do it as loud as I need to without having to worry about disturbing anyone, so that's a good thing. But let's see if I can keep track of everything that's going on. Anne, Marcy, and Sasha are all back together. They're friends again, but Sasha and Grimes are planning a Toad rebellion against Newtopia. The king has his own nefarious plans. He's got some kind of master, and they're plotting revenge. I've gone into my details about what I think that means and the lore and history of Amphibia. There's technology and robots probably involved now that we know a little more about Frobo and his appearance earlier in the season. We also know that the characters are at least planning to go home, but we don't know how that's going to work out. One, because of the king's plan and everything that's going to go down, but also because I've theorized that the magic initially went into each of the 3 girls, and when the gems were recharged, it left Marcy and Sasha for sure. But with Anne's eye, the gem didn't charge completely, so it seems that Anne does have a little bit of magic in here, which is one of the things things that I may kind of know about because it's so hard to tell what is just fan art and what is actually a screenshot from the episode, because some people are really good. So that is the one thing, is that I cannot be totally sure of everything I've been spoiled on and what it means. So like I said, that's still a good thing. So yeah, I could go on and try to remember other details, but that's at least like the biggest stuff. And I've talked plenty of times before about, you know, where I think that the show is going and what I do know. And another thing I have been spoiled on, if it relates to what I think is going to happen in this episode, I do know that there is a content warning at the beginning, warning that there is some, you know, disturbing content in the episode. And I haven't looked into it fully because I've been trying to avoid more spoilers, but I know that there was like some controversy online, like other creators were voicing their anger about like Amphibia getting screwed over. So it's possible that this episode was like either delayed, or maybe it had to be censored, or didn't even air on television initially. Again, I don't know for sure that that is the case. I am just speculating based on the few things I have heard. I didn't want to look into it fully because I didn't want to accidentally get more spoilers. But I'm sure I'll get a better idea after I've actually seen the episode, and then afterwards I can actually look it up for myself, and you guys can let me know in the comments if there's anything I missed. So yeah, to summarize everything so far, it's been a long, crazy journey to get here. I absolutely love this show now. I'm so looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in this episode. There are some things that I have been spoiled on, or maybe have been spoiled on, but I at least don't know the full context, and I don't know what the aftermath, I don't know what the ending of the episode is going to be. And at the very least, going forward, I will be spoiler free for the third season. And so yeah, I guess there's not really much more I can say after that. I've already been recording for like 10 minutes, so I guess I should go ahead and get into this. But it's so hard to get to this point because this is going to be the end of my journey, being able to watch the show at my own pace. I, you know, the end of the first 2 seasons, but it's also really exciting, and it's not going to be fun having to wait a month, because I'm recording this about a month before the 3rd season is supposed to come out, but that'll at least give me time to be excited and focusing on editing as many of these reactions as I can, because I already don't know when these will eventually come out. Alright, no more talking, no more speculating. It's time to get into this episode. I am excited. I am ready. So without any further ado, Amphibia, Season 2, Episode 20, True Colors. Let's go. Oh.
This episode has some intense final scenes. It might be scary for younger viewers.
Okay. No theme song. They want all the time they can get. True Colors. Oh! Another flashback. Stop studying, you nerd. It's Anne's V-Day.
Excuse me, ma'am, you dropped your book?
Oh.
Calamity Box? Travel to other worlds? Oh, goofy stuff. Cool artwork, though.
Huh?
Marcy, you have to understand.
No! You guys are ruining my life!
Marcy, wait! Get back here, young lady.
Okay, so what's all that about? Are her parents like splitting up? Are they sending her to some other school? Is there some other trouble going on? Wow, this is intense right from the beginning, and I'm glad that they're focusing on Marcy because she's my favorite character. And this is one of the questions I've always had for a while, is like, because of the flashbacks we've seen right before and during Anne stealing the box, Marcy's the one that we've seen the least of. And I've always been confused, you know, just because the way she is, she's kind of the nice one and a good student. So why would she, you know, be okay with stealing the box in the first place? Why would she, you know, be standing smiling like this, like next to Sasha? So that always confused me, but it seems we might be getting a little more insight. And I'm going to let you know I'm going to be pausing and talking a lot, because that's when I do, when I have a lot of thoughts and when I'm kind of nervous to see what comes next. So... And
that's weird.
Yeah, it's a weird coincidence.
I think I just found the perfect birthday present for Anne.
Oh, that explains it. She was not in a good mental state.
Woo!
Aww.
Anne's got the music box ready to give to King Andreas. Yep. And finally, once I tell him how much you helped, he'll clear you for sure.
Copy that.
Will do.
Marcy Wu and crew reporting to...
Marcy Wu and crew.
Don't get paid enough for this.
None of us get paid enough for anything.
Amazing adventure. Almost makes you wish it could last forever, huh?
I'm not sure I'd go that far. Yeah. It was pretty cool.
Whoa, Polly.
Oh, my butt is so itchy!
I've got some ointment that'll fix that right up.
Papa, no! It stinks!
After all our adventures, this is the end.
Yeah, this whole thing started with those two.
As long as we've got that music box, I'll be able to visit whenever I want.
Yeah.
You can even come visit me in my world.
That'll be awesome!
Right?
Can you just go to and fro, or do you have to like charge it every single time?
My friends, wonderful to see you.
Boom, baby!
The charged music box. Well done. Well done! Now, let's finally send you girls home.
Sasha, what are you doing?
What I do best. Taking control. Now, grind!
Oh, they have no time to waste.
Stop! Not another move, or I smash it to pieces. No! Sasha! Maybe I don't want to go home and rule a school. Maybe I want to stay here and rule a kingdom.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
King Andreas!
Both of you, stop this!
But we're just getting started. That's the signal.
Oh, dang. Remember all the way back when I said I wasn't sure if the Toads had what it took to be the main villains? Not the first time I've been wrong.
So you think you've won, do you?
Sure do. And if you think things are bad now, in a couple of hours, the rest of our army will be at your doorstep.
You'll never get away with this.
Oh yeah, he's got his own plan. Oh.
I'm gonna stay here and get this Toad regime off the ground, but I can totally send you two home if you want. And I know you're upset, but just—
No! I'm done listening to you. I'm done trusting you. You're a horrible person, and I am done being friends with you.
Anne, you don't mean that. We can still fix this.
Yeah.
No, Marcy.
Marcy is at least trying to buy time.
Sorry, Anne. Say hi to your parents for me.
Oh yeah, she doesn't know how to use it.
Take them to the dungeon.
Wait, what about Marcy? She hasn't betrayed you yet.
I just wanna...
Whoa, Anne, slow down. Take deep breaths or you're gonna...
Hey, no talking. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
Oh my god! Wow. Of course.
Who the heck are you?
I am General Yuna. Her name is Yunan. She's very important, blah, blah, blah. We don't have time for this. Come on.
Hey, Sal's.
We have to close the front gate before they get here, otherwise we'll be overrun. But we also have to free the king, defeat Sasha and Grime, work through our emotional baggage, and finally redesign the current political system so that this sort of uprising never happens again.
Gee, is that it?
Come on, you guys. We can do this. They have no idea who they're dealing with. Well, except for you guys. I'm sure they think very highly of you two.
They do. Just continue your speech.
We've been through a lot together. Cannibals, giant killer moths, combining vegetables. You name it. And we're gonna beat this too. Because when we're together, nothing can stand in our way. Here's how we're gonna do it. Papa, you, Marcy, and Lady Olivia are going down to the dungeon to free the king.
You can't trust him either.
Forsooth, I am an elderly frog who hath lost his pet spider, Charlie Bigbottom.
That's never going to work.
Oh, Charles! The world hath lost all color.
Emotional.
Polly, you're going to attack the soldiers in the city head on. Keep them distracted.
Get ready for the pain!
Oh, and take Yunan and Frobo with you. Finally, while you guys do your thing,
Wilhelm scream, I love it.
ready for one last adventure?
Spraying against the world.
Polly, you gotta move that door stop!
On it!
I, got you something. Had it made especially for this day.
Oh. Whoa.
How'd you know I wanted to dual wield? What if Anne's right? What if I am a horrible person?
Who cares what she thinks? Why don't you come help me redecorate this place? Take your mind off it. This thing's gotta go.
Oh, there it is. It reminds me of that scene in Thor Ragnarok where Hela comes into the throne room and she destroys the art that's already on the wall and reveals the older art underneath that shows Odin and her like conquering worlds, and it's a much darker history. But are we gonna get some explanations now?
Is that the king with the music box?
If it is, it's a really good thing we stopped him.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's now no longer totally black and white.
The king will regain control of the city.
Come on!
Oh, because even though like they're trying to take over now, they actually have some somewhat noble motivation since they've seen like his dark history.
There's something wrong with this Andreas guy. We should...
You expect me to believe you?
Oh,
After
no.
all the lying and manipulating you've done? Sorry, Sasha, but you're out of chances.
And I can't let you close that gate.
Oh, yeah?
Oh.
Just try to stop me!
Oh, that guy.
Toad.
Wow. It's a literal David versus Goliath. Ow.
Guess I'm not so little after all.
Task failed successfully. Oh my god, this is awesome. And sorry, you know me, I like to make references, especially Star Wars references, so a lot of you may not know what I'm talking about, and I'll try not to give spoilers, but it kind of reminds me of, like, one of the ending fights of the Star Wars Legacy of the Force series, where the good character and the bad character are fighting against each other after everything that's happened, but the bad character finds out something that now adds new tension, and so he actually has a somewhat noble reason for trying to get away, but the good character comes in and, like, has no reason to trust him anymore after everything he's done, so they have to keep fighting despite the now imminent threat. So it kind of makes me think of that. Ow.
First one through.
Oh no.
Royal Newt Guard, assemble!
Oh no. I mean, it's good that they stopped the toads, but this isn't really a good outcome either.
Oh, no.
Ian, please, don't give it to him.
Silence! All right, big guy, send us home.
In good time, my dear. But first, I'm gonna let you all in on a little secret. There was a time when Utopia was truly great, but that greatness was stolen from us. Centuries of prosperity brought to an end because of me. I was weak, trusting those who said they were my friends. And because of that, the music box was taken under my watch. It cost us everything. And after 1,000 years, no one even remembers our legacy. But now, at long last, the box is back. And with its power, Newtopia will be returned to glory.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Something's wrong here.
For you see, my ancestors weren't frail explorers. They were glorious conquerors.
Of course it's a spaceship. Oh dear. More Frobos. Whoa, that music gave me some Star Wars vibes, which really isn't surprising given that it's me.
I'm sorry, Anne, but I'm afraid you and your friends can't go home just yet. Wouldn't want you telling anyone about the coming invasion. What? Now that I have the box back, I can finish the work my ancestors started. From this castle, I will not only rule over this world, but all worlds!
You'll never get away with this.
Anne's right, we'll stop you.
Stop me? I can see a demonstration of my power is in order.
Nope, 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 nope.
We were so focused on each other, we couldn't see what was right in front of us.
Focus, Anne.
Stop! Andreas, this wasn't the plan. You said no one would get hurt.
I would have said anything if it meant you deliver the box to me fully charged. Hate to break it to you, kiddo, but you've been duped.
But Marmar, what's he talking about?
Yeah, what plan?
Oh.
He promised that we could have amazing adventures just like this one forever and ever.
But why?
She doesn't want to go home.
If you don't tell them the truth, I will.
You wouldn't.
Oh. Well, we know that Marcy read that it could take you to other worlds, but did she really believe it? Did she know for sure that it would work? Or maybe she didn't totally know, but she at least wanted them to try it on the suspicion that it would, because they didn't want him to go home. Like, I'm not ready for this revelation about Marcy, because she's my favorite. I know that she, you know, at least didn't know the full extent of his evil plan, but... oh, man.
Marcy, what's going on?
Did it ever occur to you, Anne, Sasha, that one of you knew more than she was letting on? That one of you might have gotten you stranded in Amphibia. On purpose.
You've got to be kidding me.
Oops! Looks like I spilled the tea, as you kids say.
I did it for us. The day we left, your birthday, they told me my dad got a new job out of state. They're making me move away. They were gonna tear us apart.
Mercy.
I found the box. I had no idea that it would actually work, but it did. And it sent us to a place where we'd never have to grow apart, where the three of us could be friends forever together.
How could you? I've been missing my parents, my life.
But look at how much you both grown. Look at Sprig. I gave you this. I gave you everything. I just didn't want to be alone.
This totally makes sense, but it's kind of breaking my heart, too. I mean, Marcy has always been wrapped up in a world of fiction, which I can absolutely relate to. Don't get me wrong. But she suddenly had an opportunity to make all that real, and she did. I mean, that's how they tricked us. Like, when we heard True Colors, like, it's like Anne just said, we were so focused on each other, we couldn't see what was right in front of us. We were so focused on Sasha and how obviously bad she is on the outside, and that she was specifically planning to betray them, and we got right to it at the beginning that it didn't occur to me that True Colors could have been talking about Marcy specifically. And they got us to like her so much. She has been my favorite character consistently. I've loved her so much, so now we get this. Oh my god.
Well, I guess that's what you get for pouring your heart out to me over Flipward.
The three of us may have made some mistakes, but you're evil.
Here we go.
And I'm gonna stop you right here, right now. Sasha!
I've got your back.
And
All right.
I've got yours.
Okay.
Okay. Let's have some fun.
Okay, this is not going totally how I expected, but Alright! See, these characters can be friends if they want to be. Oh yeah, and one more question while I'm thinking about it. So, he said that the people who were closest to him betrayed him, so I guess they're talking about his family, like they weren't on board with what he was doing, so they took the music box and probably put it in the human world. So does that mean that's where they are? Have they been maybe hiding on Earth this whole time, and so, like, when they all go back, they'll have to, like, find them and team up with them to take down the king for good? That would be interesting. Yeah, Frobo!
Oh, look at that. One of my robots must be defective.
No!
You monster!
Don't worry. You're up next. What the?
Over here, you big bozo!
Yeah! Well, she picked up walking very fast. So much so that it's running. Sorry, not a good time for bad jokes.
But this ends now.
Guys, don't listen to this bully. I'll be fine.
We'll see. Now put back the box.
Oh.
This twerp learns how.
Parallel to what Sasha was doing earlier.
Don't!
Sprig! Polly, do what he says.
Robo.
Okay, dude, you have what you want. Now please, just put him down.
Very poor choice of words.
That's the thing about friends, isn't it? The more you love them, the more it hurts when they go. Allow me to demonstrate.
Someone catch him. Someone catch him. What? No.
You're a hero! An ugly, ugly, ugly hero!
No, you are not doing this right now. He's not dead. I know he's not. Stop trying to make me think that he is. The end credits from season 1! Oh yeah, here we go. This is one of the things that I probably knew was coming. Anne's going Super Saiyan. Yes, come on, Marcy, you got it, you got it! Come on, Marcy. The leaves and the twigs have a purpose now, yes!
Give him...
Where'd you go?
This is gorgeous animation. Dang. We haven't even seen this guy's master yet.
Give him back. Give him back.
Looks like she can't control it.
Come on, get up, Anne!
Anne! Anne! You're alive! Oh, thank goodness.
I have to admit, even I'm surprised. Somehow you've still got the gift, kid. Which means I can't let you live. What?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Me and Crime will hold him! Just go!
If what I think is coming is true, I'm not ready for it.
The box!
Marcy, hurry! I just need to...
Now look what you've made me do.
I'm sorry for everything.
Marcy!
I knew that it was coming, and it still stung. I mean, I probably saw a picture of Marcy being the one who got stabbed at some point, but it's been so long. I knew that a character got stabbed because I'd probably seen a screenshot and people making parodies of it in fan art. So I knew it was going to happen. For a while, as the season had been going on, I thought that maybe it was going to be Sasha who did the deed, and that's what would set off Anne's berserker mode, but now I know who gets stabbed for sure, and I know the context. Please don't let this be permanent, please. But they've already made us think one character was gonna die and then brought him back. They can't do it. Can they do it a second? I'm not ready to keep watching this. I'm not ready. I'm just gonna force myself to keep going.
What?
Oh, dang.
Oh, my frog.
What is this place?
They're in Los Angeles?
Home.
End of part 2. Oh, no! What? Are you shitting me? No! Are you shitting? No! What the fuck? They're already showing us the next intro? You think this can just make up for what happened? Why did they show us that? I mean, I was pissed off before at them leaving it, but now they actually show us the intro and we know things are gonna happen now? It's even worse! What the hell? If you're gonna, like, rip my soul out like that, then at least give me time to process it and look forward to the resolution. Are you kidding me? Guys, I'm sorry, I gotta vent for a bit. I don't know what pisses me off more. I don't know if I'm pissed off more by the ending and how it leaves off like that, or that they then immediately showed us what's gonna happen in the third season. Wish I had stopped watching right there, but I was just so shocked I couldn't pause the episode. I mean, yes, was the ending sad? But at least give me time to process that and look forward to how it's going to be resolved before immediately showing it. Why? Why would you do that? This is why I hate trailers. This is why I try to avoid marketing material before I watch. And but, you know, to be fair, they would probably play this new theme song at the beginning of the next episode anyway, so... Okay, guys, so that was Amphibia Season 2, Episode 20, True Colors. Sorry things got so crazy at the end. I don't normally curse on my channel, at least not to that extent, but I couldn't help it. I mean... Wow. Why don't we just go through the episode and take everything one at a time? How about that? So yeah, the beginning was not kidding when it said... that had some scenes that may be intense for younger viewers. Again, I haven't looked up what the situation was. I know that fans were complaining about something, but if this episode did get censored in some way or was delayed or maybe couldn't air on television, if that's what people are angry about, then I can definitely understand, you know, why that was the case given what happens at the end. That's intense for me, a 23-year-old man. I can only imagine how intense it is for a young and impressionable child. And by the way, I just want to clarify that I just got caught up in the moment, and there may be some things I'm upset about for the time being, but as a whole, I love this episode, and so I have more good things to say than bad. So I don't want to give the wrong impression that I'm hating on this show or that I'm hating on the entire episode. So just bear that in mind before we move on to everything else. So I loved how they started the episode with another flashback. I always love those flashbacks, and it was so smart having it focus on Marcy, because that sets up that it's going to be a Marcy episode and go into her, because that is what is always... This show does an excellent job of introducing elements that initially confuse me or maybe I have questions about and don't seem to totally add up, but then eventually they do resolve those questions in a way that totally makes sense and makes the overall story more satisfying. Because going back to rewatch the beginning of the series, the scene where Marcy is standing outside the shop with Sasha and she's kind of smiling similar to Sasha, and that scene hasn't made sense to me once we actually got to know Marcy, because she's a good person and fairly oblivious and doesn't seem all that interested in that sort of thing. So what would make her, you know, go along with that? In fact, what would make her be the one to suggest that they steal it in the first place? But now we understand, because she was in a very bad emotional place at the moment because of what was happening with her parents, and she actually knew about the box. I mean, sure, she didn't know for sure that it was going to work, but she at least considered the possibility, and so she is the reason that they ended up in Amphibia in the first place. Which, man, did they make that ending effective. They went out of their way this season to make us love Marcy and make us really get to know her and have her be the focal point of a lot of story elements and strengthen her relationship with Anne, because that makes it hit so much harder when they reveal the truth about her and when we'll get to that. And man, that whole thing with Marcy, like, really scared me at first. I didn't know what was going on with her parents when I heard them screaming. At first I thought, like, oh gosh, are we talking about domestic violence, or are her parents getting separated, or are they, like, sending her to a private school because things maybe aren't working out in town? But no, it was a just much more simple answer, is that she was moving away and scared of losing her friends, which obviously I can understand. You know, I've had plenty of friends, you know, that I've gone my separate ways with over time just because life happens. I, you know, even had a girlfriend who I, you know, had to move away when I was in high school. And so, yeah, I definitely can understand her fear. That was actually one of the things I was thinking about, because I just naturally think long term is that they're such good friends now, but what's going to happen when they grow up and eventually have to maybe move away and do their own thing. So they actually addressed that here, and it just adds such a sense of tragedy to the whole series, because you feel just such conflict. Because on the one hand, if they had never gone to Amphibia, they would have gone on these amazing adventures and wouldn't have found a family in the Planters, and they wouldn't be in a position to do some good and help change the world of Amphibia. But at the same time, you know, their families have probably been really worried about them, and they have gone through bad things as well. And them actually bringing the music box to Amphibia is what is now going to allow for the king to do bad things. So you just feel such conflict, which is good. That's what makes you invested. And like I said, the show always manages to take me by surprise. At first, I thought that the beginning was kind of rushed when they just got, you know, right to Sasha and Grimes taking over. Instead of building it up, I thought, oh no, is this episode just going to be rushed with them having to get to all this stuff at once because they only have 25 minutes? But no, there was a reason for it. They were getting to one threat and then defeating that threat and then leading into another threat, which then allows characters to team up, which I love that it actually flowed very well now that I think about it, and makes things more satisfying when they come later. And Sasha, wow, she was a literal red herring. She is the color red in her design and her connection to the gem. She was distracting us from the eventual reveal and dark moment about Marcy, because like I said, based on some of the spoilers that I had gotten, which I couldn't remember all the details, I knew that one of the characters, I suspected it would be Marcy, was going to get stabbed. But I thought that Sasha was going to be the one to do it. I thought that, you know, that was the point of the last episode, was to make it even more tragic when Sasha goes so far as to betray and kill her own friend. But that wasn't the route they took. It turns out that the episode titled True Colors was not really about Sasha. It wasn't even about the king. It was about Marcy, which is just, oh, wow. I mean, I expected Anne feeling betrayed by Sasha, but seeing her and Sasha feel betrayed because of Marcy's actions, that hurt. That really did hurt. And I thought that there might be a point of contention between them, because I suspected that Marcy might know something that the king had told her, or that her first instinct would be to try to defend the king, or maybe be like, okay, maybe what he's saying isn't so bad because they've worked so closely together. But she did know something. She knew that they were gonna travel between worlds. She thought that they could keep going on adventures forever. But so she didn't fully know what his evil plan was, but she did keep something secret from them, and she, you know, had selfish motivations. But on the flip side of that, they suddenly had a moment where Sasha and even Grimes had somewhat selfless motivations, because, I mean, they're taking over Amphibia with the Toads. I mean, obviously that wasn't okay, especially what the Toads were doing, but as Marcy said, with the whole, you know, political system and how things are set up, you know, this kind of thing was inevitable to happen anyway, and it's not like, you know, Toad's totally bad, king totally good type situation. So suddenly, once they were in power and they, you know, saw the truth about the king and that ancient tapestry, they were like, oh wow, it's actually like a good thing that we overthrow him. And so the fight between Sasha and Anne was that much more interesting, because now we know that Sasha actually does have a good reason for wanting to stop Anne and keep the Toads in control. And in regards to the action, Anne did get a surprising number of moments to shine, both in fisticuffs, headbutts, sword fighting, which was awesome, and then the whole sequence at the end, which obviously we will get to. But yeah, all that was fantastic. fantastic. And God, that was such a funny moment with Marcy, her like representing the fans, like trying to keep track of all the things that they need to do and all the things that need to change going forward. God, she's such a fangirl. And yeah, they did do a really good job with diverting our attention away from Marcy with Sasha. Like, once Grimes gave her that sword, I was so certain it's like, oh my God, she is gonna stab Marcy with that at the end of the episode. That's what the whole point of the setup is. But little did we know that something much worse was in store. We got plenty of good moments with the other characters too. Sprig got a chance to take down Grimes. Polly got her legs finally, and that was awesome. And we finally got the full backstory, or at least some of the full backstory with the king and his history. We know, it seems that, you know, that whole theory I had was correct, that they were a much more advanced civilization in the past. They lost the music box, so suddenly they had nothing to power all their advances and their traveling and conquering anymore. And he said that he was betrayed by people that he trusted, and now that I go back to look at these characters, one of them is a toad, which is interesting, and the other one kind of actually looks like Sprig a little bit, so that's just kind of an interesting detail. So if I had to guess, is that they were close at one point, but they weren't on board with his decision to be a conqueror, so they maybe stole the music box and either went to Earth to protect it, or they at least sent it there. And now that the planters are on Earth, maybe they'll like run into them at some point, so that would be cool. But yeah, there's still a lot that we don't know about, like all the stuff I just mentioned, but also this mysterious master that the king has that we didn't even see in this episode, so that full reveal is still to come. Oh man, but if we're talking about character deaths and sacrifices, we gotta give a moment to Frobo. I mean, I'm sure maybe he'll come back based on maybe some marketing I've seen, or, you know, they could rebuild him. I can't even remember the full sequence at the end, but it's still a really sad moment for Polly especially. And then they actually faked us out with Sprig. Like, my conscious brain, you know, knew that he wasn't actually gonna die, but then like he kept falling and they kept showing clips from earlier episodes, and I was like, stop trying to trick me, that Sprig is dying, you're actually making me upset. But it led to Anne's wonderfully animated and so intense, what I'm just calling Super Saiyan transformation sequence. That was awesome and so cool. Like, again, it was beautifully animated and the action was so great, and it was just such a powerful moment. I hope we get more stuff like that. Maybe even Sasha could do it if she like regains her connection to the gem or whatever. Oh, and just another interesting detail, like, I guess they don't still have to be there, but it's almost weird that like the leaves and twigs in her hair actually have a purpose now. Like, they too transform and kind of complement the design. Like, that's something that's always irritated me, and something that's probably irritated a lot of fans, is that even after she found out that they were there, she still will not take those leaves and twig out of her hair. But at least they complement her new design pretty well, so there's at least that. And then of course now we have to talk about the moment that I knew at least in part was coming, but it did not make it sting any less. Marcy, I'm just gonna say she died. Like, I'm gonna ignore the season 3 intro and just pretend and go back to focusing on that moment. That was horrible to watch. Like, a giant flaming sword stabbed right through the chest after all we learned about her, and after her growth and connection with all the other characters. And they didn't even have a full moment to process it. Like, guys, I have not cried like that when watching media in quite some time. Like, I don't know if I really shed a lot of tears, but I literally needed a moment to compose myself. I mean, obviously, but that was the most heartbreaking scene in this entire show, and that hurt so much. It really, really did hurt. And then, like, it actually ends with the planters on top of a car in Los Angeles. I think that's what it said in the background, so I guess we know what the plot of the next season is about. And then end of part 2, which I kind of knew that was coming, not like that, but I knew that it's like been confirmed that each season like counts as a part, and part 3 is maybe going to be the last season of the show. And then we get those so emotional end credits, and they rub salt in the wound by showing Anne and Marcy, and like, I was wanting to cry once again. And then I did love the text that said the adventure's not over, it's only just beginning. But I'm sorry, I don't want to be mad that they did this, but I just have to be, is that I wish they had not shown the intro for the third season, or I at least wish that it had been more limited in what they did show us. Because as mad as I was and as emotionally devastated I was, that was a perfect way to end the season. Just end it on that huge cliffhanger. We would be so upset and so looking forward to seeing what happens next. But then immediately after that, they show the intro, they show what the season 3 is going to look like. We see certain characters that we haven't even seen. At this point, it's very lighthearted at times, and we're actually given answers to what's going to happen with Marcy. Like, she is alive, but, like, kept in a tank, but then, like, her ending post suggests that she's going to be all right and come back, which obviously I want that to happen, but I want to anticipate it first, so I'm mad at myself now. I wish I had paused right there once I realized what they were doing, because I normally like to avoid trailers and marketing materials, so I just wish they hadn't included that. I really do. Maybe you guys feel the same way, but I guess it at least does give me something to look forward to. And, you know, they still haven't resolved it completely yet. Like, we still actually have to see Anne reuniting with her parents. We still have to see the Planters trying to navigate life on Earth. We still have to actually get to all this stuff with Marcy and Sasha and Grimes. They're all still trapped back in Amphibia. We still have... So it's not like everything has been spoiled. Not everything has been ruined. And we were probably going to see this at the beginning of the third season. So maybe that's why they put it in there, because they want us to give us a little more tease. And, you know, they were worried about kids being too upset or maybe losing viewership or something. But yeah, so those are my mixed feelings on that at the end of the episode, but I at least captured a really great reaction. I hope I did, at least, so I guess there's that. So with that, guys, I'm officially caught up on Amphibia. I'm ready for season 3 about a month from now when I'm recording this. I'm looking forward to watching and reacting to it as it comes out, despite some of the mixed feelings I have about the ending of this episode. So yeah, it's been a long, crazy journey to actually get caught up. It's going to be even crazier because, like I said, at the time I'm recording this, I'm only like a little more than halfway through season 1 in terms of editing, uploading, and once I get to season 3, I'm going to have to put those on hold. So who knows when I'll eventually actually get this reaction uploaded, but I'm glad to at least have it recorded so that I don't have to worry about that anymore. So yeah, eventually I will get this out, and I'll look forward to that. But thank you guys so much for joining me on this crazy journey. Thank you for watching my reactions. Thank you for leaving comments. It always makes it more fun to enjoy these shows with other people. And I hope you do like these reactions when I eventually get them out. So I could keep going and rambling on. I'm sure I could say something more, but this recording is already going to be long enough, so I'm just going to force myself to stop. Take a little breather, get all my thoughts together, and then I will get back into editing, and I will look forward to season 3. So thank you guys once again. This was an absolutely insane episode, and now I'm very excited to see what happens next. So with that, I'm gonna turn it over to you guys. What did you think of this episode? What did you think of my reaction? What are your thoughts in response to what I said? What are your theories about season 3? What are you looking forward to the most? How do you feel about them showing the intro at the end of this? Whatever it is, feel free to share your thoughts down in the comments and let me know what you think. I'm sure you have a lot to say. If this is your first time on my channel, be sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. Also be sure to check out my other videos. It really does mean a lot. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for Amphibia Season 3.